message from Vault Tech. Vault 101. Message begins.
It feels like you left home a long time ago, but I know you're still out there. I just hope you're still alive to hear this. Things got worse after you left. The new overseer's insane. If you can hear this, please stop looking for your dad and help save us. I changed the door password to my name. If you're hearing this, and if you still care enough to help me, you should remember it.
Message repeats. This is an automated distress message from Vault Tech.
Stop right there. I don't know how you got in here, but... Hold on. Wait a minute. It's you! I hardly recognized you with all the dust and grime from out there. Guess that explains how you got that door open. You've got more experience with it than most everyone down here combined. Amada's message. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd keep that under your hat for her sake. She could get in real trouble if people found out she sent you a message. So could I, just for talking with you now. The night you and your dad left, everything went crazy. Between the bugs and the confusion, we lost a lot of people. When your dad opened up that gate, he let loose a whole lot of crap, if you'll pardon my language. I'm sorry to hear that. Regardless of how things turned out down here, he was a good friend. I always figured he'd do well outside. You're not alone in that, though. In all the chaos, Amada lost her dad, too. Lots of us lost family, to tell the truth. Now Alan Mack's the overseer, and he's taking a hard stance against those who want the vault to open again. I probably ought to put you under arrest and take you into the overseer, but frankly, I know better than to try that. Meanwhile, some of your old friends think opening the vault is a good idea. I bet those rebels would like a word with you, now more than ever. Of course, if you want, you can just walk away as if you were never here. Out of respect for your dad, I won't even tell anyone I saw you. Well, okay. Just be careful down here. The vault's changed, I tell you.
We're opening that door, and to hell with the Overseer's rules.
You know I can't do that, Freddy. Now get back down below before I have to do something we'll both regret.
What? You gonna lock me up like you did to Broch? You can't cage a tunnel snake, man, because we rule!
Stay back!
Oh, come on.
Hey, good to see you again. I tell you, those guards are getting nastier every day. One of these days is gonna turn real ugly. But I'll be ready for it. Paul got bit real bad by some of those rad roaches, but he thought he could tough it out. If we'd had a doctor to treat him, he might still be here. The Overseer thinks he's in charge of us, just because it's his job? Well, nuts to that. We do what we want, and we want to open the vault. Later.
Pay more attention to what you're doing.
Don't you know enough to stay away? I didn't mean to fire. I really didn't. I just wanted to scare him off. But he had a knife. I can't be too careful with those rebels. I tell you, I'm scared of them. I never know when they're gonna try something dangerous. I lost my poor wife Agnes is what happened. And all the chaos and fighting, her old ticker just couldn't take it anymore. Yes, you do.
You never should have left, kid. Now we'll make sure nobody ever leaves again. Huh? There's more where that came from.
It's been a while, kid. I guess the goat couldn't have predicted how you'd turn out, could it? Remind me to add a question about rescuing your teacher from the vault jail. If the vault ever goes back to normal, that is. By the way, while I was in there, I heard some worrying things from the guards. I heard one of the guards talking about some sort of plan to raid Amata and the rest of us. I didn't hear anything else, but I think he read it on the security terminal. So maybe you can find more there. I'm sure it's bad news for us all. Most of them are just kids who are caught up in the idea of seeing the world. But I know we've got to actually open the vault if we want to survive. Otherwise, we're just going to dwindle away down here until it's all too late. It was pretty rough, I'll tell you. I know a lot of folks blame your dad, but I know he didn't mean to cause all that. Don't blame him or yourself. Watch yourself down here.
It's good to see you again.
Oh my god, you're back! You got my message and actually came back! I missed your sense of humor, but I really don't think this is the time for jokes. We're in real trouble, and your help could make all the difference. So could you please take this seriously? For me? I just wish we could have saved more people. Jonas and the Hannons and so many others died that night. It was bad enough they died because my father was trying to keep the door closed. But then I found out it was all to protect a lie. I found out the vault wasn't always closed. They've lied to us about it for our entire lives. After that night, I heard Wally's father say we should never have taken you or your dad into the vault. I found out the vault used to be open, but for some reason, they closed it off when we were babies and swore to hide that it had ever happened. But keeping that lie meant Jonas's death. And even though we know the truth, the Overseer still won't let us make our own decisions. It's not that simple. It's not like we want to abandon the vault or anything. It's our home, and we want to stay here. It's just that since you went out there, we started thinking maybe it wasn't something to be afraid of. We can't even suggest going outside to communicate or trade at all. Not with the Overseer keeping us trapped down here. You need to stop him. I certainly hope so. We can't keep going on like this. What exactly do you mean by that? It is? Even with a crazy dictator running the show? I guess we do have renewable food and water, impenetrable defenses, and a wealth of active technology. Those must be rare outside, huh? I'm not afraid of dying, but if I leave, others will try to follow, and I couldn't live with their deaths on my conscience. Okay, you win. Go ahead and tell the Overseer that we'll stop trying to leave the vault. You and he are right. Thanks for watching out for us. We'll all miss you.
It's good to see you again.
I hear you talk some sense into that rabble, and convince them to give up on their nonsense. All without bloodshed, no less. Good thing, too. We can't afford to lose any more of the breeding pool. I guess I owe you something in the way of thanks. Gek. We never had one of those things in the first place. We weren't supposed to ever leave, remember? But take this modified utility jumpsuit. I guess the rebels thought it would be useful when they left. Obviously, that won't be happening now. Congrats. You saved the vault. Now get out.
What's the big idea?
Go on. Stop right there. I don't know how you got in here, but... Hold on. Wait a minute. It's you! I hardly recognized you with all the dust and grime from out there. Guess that explains how you got that door open. You've got more experience with it than most everyone down here combined. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Calm down there. Amada's not in any danger. I mean, we're all in a sort of a rough patch, but we've weathered worse. But sorry to say, if you're back, there's going to be trouble with some folks. And if Amada's wrapped up in it, there'll be trouble for her too. Technically, this means I'm supposed to report her. To tell the truth, I'm supposed to report you being here too. But I've been getting mighty forgetful in my old age, you know? We've got more than enough trouble without me adding to it. It wouldn't have if your father hadn't ruined everything by opening that door. Things were just fine until he decided to take a little walk. Then we had bug attacks, confusion, and chaos. And with no doctor, too. I'm sorry to hear that. Regardless of how things turned out down here, he was a good friend. I always figured he'd do well outside. You're not alone in that, though. In all the chaos, Amada lost her dad, too. Lots of us lost family, to tell the truth. Now Alan Mack's the overseer, and he's taking a hard stance against those who want the vault to open again. I can't do that. Not officially, at least. As much as some of the rebels would like to talk with you, the overseer said you weren't welcome back. Of course, if you survived whatever's out there, none of us could stop you if you really wanted to cause problems. But I'd prefer if you don't. But out of respect to your dad, I could turn a blind eye. You could slip out and say you were never here. I won't tell a soul. Well, okay. Just be careful down here. The vault's changed, I tell you. None of my business, okay?
We're opening that door, and to hell with the Overseer's rules.
You know I can't do that, Freddy. Now get back down below before I have to do something we'll both regret.
What? You're gonna lock me up like you did to Broch? You can't cage a tunnel snake, man, because we rule!
Watch it, will you? Can't you just leave us alone? Yes, you do.
It's good to see you again.
Oh my God, you're back! I missed your sense of humor, but I really don't think this is the time for jokes. We're in real trouble, and your help could make... Chaos doesn't even cover it. It's a nightmare down here. People died that night, and all because my father went crazy to keep someone from opening the vault. And worst of all, then we found out the vault had been opened before, and they'd lied about it all our lives. It turns out that all of our parents were in on it. Your dad more than most, I guess. But for some reason, they closed the door when we were babies and swore to pretend the outside was uninhabitable. But now people have died for that lie, and even though we know the truth, the Overseer still won't let us try to contact the outside. You're absolutely right. It's not like we want to abandon the vault or anything. Most of us had accepted that the outside was certain death and things would always stay the same down here. But now we know they don't have to be. After all, it was enough to get you and your dad to leave, so there must be something good out there. I just don't know. Maybe he thinks he's protecting us, but all he's really doing is condemning us. Well, there's a new world waiting right outside that door, and we're not going to give up until we can reach it. I certainly hope so. We can't keep going on like this. You will? Thank goodness for that. No matter what I say, he just doesn't listen. He just spends all day up in his office. But you've actually been outside, so you can tell him what it's like with first-hand experience. Just... I understand, but please don't kill him. We've already lost so many, and violence isn't going to bring them back.
Hey. I never thought you'd be back. Wow, you're back. Bye.
How may I serve you, Master? Not that I really want to. Ah, another patient. What's it to be, eh? Appendectomy? Tonsillectomy? Hysterectomy? Ah, yes, a rather unfortunate incident. In all the commotion, Miss Beatrice suffered a rather bad sprain in her left toe. The big one. Obviously, I had no choice but to amputate the leg. Yeah, I'm sorry to say the operation was not a success. But of course, with your father's departure from the vault and Jonas's untimely demise, the Overseer had to take swift action. And so he named me the new Vault Medical Practitioner. A marvelous decision, if I do say so myself. I am fully equipped, after all. Of course. Don't let me keep you.
You've got to change the Overseer's mind.
You never should have left, kid. Now we'll make sure nobody ever leaves again.
You just couldn't let us live in peace, could you? You couldn't have a home, so you decided to destroy ours. But I'll see to it that you die first.
I don't know that I should be talking with you.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I told everyone to wait here for you, that you'd know what to do, but they didn't listen to me. With everything they'd been through, they just panicked, but I knew you'd come back. I knew you'd know what was happening. You do, don't you? You've destroyed our home just to prove a point? You're insane! You're worse than my father ever was! I should never have helped you that night. I should have stayed with my father and watched him kill you. Now, you can stay down here and die for all I care. If you ever talk to me again out there, I'll kill you.
Well, look at who came crawling back home. What's the matter? Homesick? Outside not everything it was cracked up to be? Or was it just that Daddy didn't want you anymore? Too bad. You're not wanted here. You're scum. Is that what they say? And you believe them? Ha! Why, if it weren't for me, they'd go outside and die in seconds flat. They're just caught up in the idea of a change is all. Now I'll make this easy for you. You can walk away and let me handle the vault, or I can put you down like a rabid dog. Your choice, kid. Most of the people in here will just get themselves killed out there. You know that better than anyone. But down here, they've got a safe life.
And while we're down here, I'm in charge. Like the goat said, to whom we owe everything, including our lives.
The Overseer, and that's me. You know what? I hear the last Overseer tried being reasonable about things, and you killed him for his efforts. I think I'll skip the reasonable thing and just kill you now. Well, look at who came... Really? Because you weren't here to talk with the last Overseer. That's why I'm in charge now. So you'll excuse me if I don't trust you, and if I don't think you've got my vault's best interests at heart. Now, I'll make this easy for you. You can walk away and let me handle the vault, or I can put... Okay, here's the deal. You go and get the... What do you want? Really? You know what? I hear the last Overseer. I think I'll...
I never thought you'd be back.
I just heard what you did. It was terrible, but I guess it had to be done. What's more, some of the people are saying I should be the new overseer. It's all so sudden. Oh, I will, believe me. We can open up limited trade with nearby settlements and other areas, and see the world we've been missing. But it's still important that I protect our vault, and keep the people within it safe from the dangers of the wasteland. Even when those dangers have helped us in the past. And that makes the rest of this even harder. I realize that, and I don't blame you. If you hadn't been here, maybe one of us would have done the same. You saved us. But that doesn't change the fact that you killed the Overseer in cold blood to do it. And I can't let that sort of thing stand here. I'm sorry. You're a hero, and you have to leave.
It's good to see you. Goodbye. We'll miss you.
What's the big idea?